Foxe's Book of Martyrs by John Foxe, edited by Forbush. This book will turn your ears upside down, figuratively speaking. This talks about martyrs, mostly Protestant or early martyrs. Early martyrs, obviously, were not all Protestant, because you got when the Protestants really started coming out during the Reformation. But it talks about the death of the apostles starting out. The history of chapter 1 is the history of Christian martyrs to the first general persecutions under Nero. Then chapter 2, the 10 primitive persecutions. If you remember in Revelation chapter 2, it talks about 10. I'm totally drawing a blank here, but they'll suffer persecution for 10 days, I believe it says, lining up with the 10 primitive persecutions. That's chapter 2. Persecutions of the Christians in Persia, chapter 3, papal persecutions. This book should be read by everybody that is saved and can read. The Bible is obviously the main book that needs to be read every day, and that is the book. But this book is good for anybody to read, especially Americans, because I live in America, but everybody would do good to read this. The reason I say that is because it tells how dirty and nasty the Catholic Church is. And this book is not popular amongst Catholic people, I'm sure, or else after they read it, they probably would not be Catholic anymore. It is gruesome. When I say gruesome, it gives details. It doesn't give all the details, obviously, but it gives enough to know that if you're saved, you've got the devil as your enemy, you've got your flesh as the enemy, and you've got the world as your enemy. And when the Catholic Church has power over the state or is in league with the state, the civil government, you have, as I think Dr. Ruttman said, you have hell on wheels. And this talks about how that happened during the Dark Ages. And before the Dark Ages, when you had pagan Rome. So you got it dealing with pagan Rome and papal Rome. Papal meaning dealing with the Pope. So it's really good. Then it goes through an account of the life and persecutions of Martin Luther, who was obviously a reformer Protestant there. It talks about William Tyndale. It talks about John Calvin. Prior to the reign of Queen Mary I, an account of chapter 15, an account of the persecutions in Scotland during the reign of Henry VIII, and the persecutions in England during the reign of Queen Mary. Now, I would suggest it talks about John Rogers. There's so much in this book that is helpful. Now, it's not something that I'm not even going to say that, but you need to read this. If you haven't read this, you need to take the time and read this book. It's not going to teach you tons of Bible doctrine, but it will let you know that the enemy is, from a church perspective, is not attacking people like they used to, but they used to certainly lop people's heads off, burn them at the stake, burn their Bibles with them. And right now it can make you appreciate the relative peace and quiet that we have here in America, if you're an American, that is. So Foxe's Book of Martyrs, edited by Forbush, very good book, and I highly recommend it. Thank you, and be ready, because Jesus could come back any day or any minute now. So if you're not sure if you're ready or not, the Bible says in Romans 10:9 that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. If you're not sure if you're going to heaven, get you a King James Bible and read the book of Romans. and you'll learn how to get to heaven. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, send me an email at kyle.kiker@1611ministries.org or leave a comment. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.